And there he is, sideways. Welcome
Damn.
to the Knives and Nonsense Show. I'm your host, Thrifty Kniffy. With me here today is Chris Taylor, my co host.
Howdy, howdy.
Welcome to episode 11 of Knives and Nonsense, the live show on 9:30 Central Time each Wednesday evening. Want to say a big thank you to Discord group. I want to say that has been the highlight of my week so far. There have been a lot of great discussions in there this week and just had a lot of fun. So
Great discussions. Were we in the same group?
we are definitely in the same group.
I must have
So
missed those great
if
discussions.
you're missing out on those wonderful discussions over in Discord, I invite you to go to my channel, look at any one of the recent videos, and in that video description, you'll find a Discord link. Click on that. You'll be invited to the Discord. You'll pull that up. Might be kind of scary for some of the non-technical types, but trust me, it's very simple. We can guide you through it, and any help that you need, you just need to ask. Just type in the chat, and we'll help you out. But we have nice live chats in there all the time, and
It's
been in there quite a
always
bit.
fun.
We've been in there quite a bit this week, so
Yeah.
I've been just want to thank everybody who's been in there from abroad, mainly people from abroad, but here too. So Mike Make Cutlery Great Again was in there. He's been in there.
Yep.
Chris has been in there. I've been in there, and a load of UK guys. Any other Scott has been in there recently.
Yep.
And any of the other USA guys want to just give you guys a Holden has been in there. But just a lot of fun. So you haven't joined up, please do so. You're missing out. Great place to be. And those that have already joined but maybe aren't as active, come and be active. We're looking forward to see new faces in the live chats there. But we've got a topic for you guys today for traditional knives. I've called it just for grandpas because that's a good starting point. I think a lot of people feel like traditional knives are just for grandpas. I know I heard that when I was getting into it. You know, people were all about the modern knives and telling me that's kind of where all the excitement was in the hobby.
Yeah. I mean, you hear it
And
all the time. Grandpa knives is what they're called.
I never really saw it that way.
Yeah.
But then again, I am a little older than your probably average knife buyer, particularly for, knives just of any type. But once you start talking about traditional knives, I think I pretty much fall right in that demographic. Chris might be on the younger side of the demographic.
Yeah. The
Maybe not.
most, it depends. I mean, I think the younger you get, the fewer you find.
But we have exceptions to that rule in our group. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
Slippy is like 33 or 34.
So,
I guess he just turned
yeah.
34 recently, June. Holden, he's in
He's
his 20s.
25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He likes a traditional knife.
Yep. Yep.
So there are exceptions. There's pins and pin blades. Jonathan, he's a pretty young guy.
I think he's younger than Holden. He's in his early
Could
20s, I think.
could be our youngest guy. One of them. We have Winchell. I think I'm saying that right. Is it Winston? Winston, I think I want to say. Which is what is it? Fictional Iceland? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what he goes
Yeah.
by his handle. He's pretty young. He loves a traditional knife. So they're not all for old people. And I think a good sort of way to enter into the hobby is with a Swiss Army knife because it seems a
Yeah.
little less scary to people in terms
Where's
of
that?
being like an old grandpa style knife. But
Well, there it is.
it's a good entry point for traditional knives, right?
What is it? Oh.
And you can definitely use that as a jumping point and to get into
Oh, yeah.
older stuff and get
Most
into things
definitely.
like a canoe or or a Barlow or a Copperhead or an Ettrick
or bunny knife,
or a Bunny Knife.
or one of the really, nicer or more popular patterns, Sidebuster type pattern.
Sodbuster.
Yeah, always
And
popular.
the great thing is now you even have options of modern knife companies. In other words, companies that are producing modern knives, also delving into some of the traditional knives. Get that from Rosecraft. They make modern
Yep.
knives and they make traditional made, traditional styled, not traditionally made, but traditionally styled pocket knives in their lineup. Jack
Was it?
Wolf, Jack Wolf
Yeah.
just introduced their first knife in that
Was
Gateway
it?
series.
Was it Tactile Knives? They're doing one.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, a lot of the companies are at least trying to do at least one more modern slip joint.
Mm-hmm.
I guess trying to appeal to the modern knife crowd, which is nothing wrong with that.
So, as far as the question being answered, just for grandpas, no,
No.
no. I don't know how many Boy Scouts there are out there nowadays. This becomes something of a, I don't know, jaded place, I guess, because of all the bad things that have come along with it in recent years. But, something like that, Cub Scout knife. Here's one from Camillus.
Yeah.
I mean, this was the first knife for so many boys my age. Oh, that didn't sound right. Men who were boys that are my age now. Does that make sense? Let's try to correct that. Anyway, people of my age whose first knife was something like that.
Yeah.
Camp
Well,
knife.
and as I said last week, my first knife was Boy Scout Tinker, Victorinox Tinker. When I was 5 years old.
There you go. So yeah, that was your entry point.
Yep.
But I
Yep.
think a lot of the Boy Scout knives were the entry point for a lot of
Yeah.
people from the 70s and 80s. Grew up in the 70s and 80s. And
Well,
it's
let's
got
think
a little.
about it too. I mean, back then, the actual grandfathers carried slip joints, and a lot of times dads did too. So they would gift a slip joint to their children,
That's
to
right.
the son.
That's right. And one of those things that I talked about when you first get into knives, even if you are not traditional knife and you don't know whether or not you're going to like them, let's just say, right?
Yep.
You can pick up knives that are in traditional style that are super, super cheap just to kind of figure out if it's your thing.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is like when you pull it out, are you going to be upset that you got to use two hands to use it? Are you going to be upset that you don't just go and you got some crazy blade steel you may not have to sharpen for months? Are you going to be opposed to, stropping your knife? You got to kind of learn that though the knives don't necessarily stay as sharp as more modern, more modern knives on a, I guess, on a one-to-one basis. You can buy so many different style knives that's not necessarily the case. But let's just say you buy a very budget knife and you're going to have to sharpen a lot. Find out whether you're going to enjoy that or not. One of those brands that I recommended just to get into traditional knives was Right Edge, right? And they're pretty crap knives, but they're going to give you that traditional feel, what it's like to candle one, to cut with one, whether you want to use multiple blades or not. Now, this is a little sow belly whittler that they offer. I don't even know the model number, but it's cheap. We're talking
Yeah.
$10, right? Just to get into it. Another great one for like in the Sodbuster style is an Imperial IMP 22. I don't have one here in front of me, but it's like what Chris showed you, but just a cheaper version of it. You want to show that Sodbuster again?
Yeah.
And look, You can get into it for such a small amount of money to figure it out, whether or not you like it or not. Right. And then when you get out of right edge, or maybe you've discovered you like right edge, but you still don't want to spend a ton, you can move up to something like a Rough Rider, right? Here's another one from right edge. Let's say you wanted a bigger knife. There's a little 3.5. What is this? Like 3 3/4 or 4 inch? Just a full 4-inch Stockman. All right, full size Stockman. All right, tortoiseshell. I mean, it's not horrible, but the blade steel's like 3CR. It's not going to last very long. You'll probably get frustrated with it over the course of using it any length of time. You're going to have to sharpen it a lot, but it answers questions for you. So, as an introductory knife, you got to start somewhere, and if you don't want to spend a lot to find out, answer some questions for yourself. It's a good place to start. Also, the secondary market, right? Something like this, you know, missing a badge, or it's not going to be, and that's not going to be real super expensive. But as far as learning whether or not you like the knife,
yeah.
Well, what difference does it make if it has a shield on? It's not going to perform any different, right?
Well, I'll tell you another knife too on the secondhand market. One that me and you talked about before. But
yes,
like Colonial side bus or Barlow's and
right.
Yeah,
100%.
they're stupidly cheap.
I got an example similar to that.
Yeah,
Just an Imperial.
Yeah,
right?
the Imperial and Colonials. His, of course, is in better shape than mine is.
I mean, carbon steel blades. You learn whether or not you like carbon steel. Best place to, in my opinion, the best place to learn to sharpen on is a carbon steel blade.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing about it with a steel I hate to say this, but it's softer like that. If you make a mistake on sharpening, it's easier to correct it. To where if you got, say, one of the high end super steels and you get your angles wrong, you work on it.
I find it's pretty forgiving too, right? Like,
yeah.
You don't have to be great at your angles, and you're still going to get a cutting edge.
Yeah.
So it won't frustrate you when you're first getting started.
Yep.
Like something like a D2 blade would, or like certainly not a super steel, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I think
another kind of, we were talking about Victorinox, and if you're not like maybe into the multi-tool style knives, you can get single-bladed Victorinox.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, there's a really good example of that. You can get this floral knife, they call it. It's meant for pruning or using on flowers, but it's a general purpose knife. You can use it on anything. Yep. You look blade shape of that. Just basically a sheep's foot.
It's stainless, so you don't have to worry about the carbon aspect to start with.
You don't have to worry about rust, and it's pretty easy to sharpen. Again, if softer steel, not particularly hard, they're going to dull, pretty quickly, comparatively speaking. Not so much that you're going to have to, do it. If you're just light using it, it's not going to dull, but.
Well, I mean, that's one of the benefits.
If you're giving a good workout, it'll need to sharpen after a while.
And it don't take long. I mean, you're talking maybe a couple minutes, 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Now these come in like assortment of colors. If you don't like the blue, you can get the red. There's a green one, yellow, black, pink. So, whatever your flavor, it's a good starting knife too. Fantastic action on these two.
Yep.
And you can see the handle's got some thickness to it. So, if you got a bigger hand, or if you got a hand that you can't squeeze tight because you got arthritis like me, that's kind of handy. Won't turn around your hand.
Yep.
But great beginner's knife too. This be one you could give to a kid, easy to manipulate. And maybe one blade might be better for a starter because you don't have the multiple blades.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. But I don't think they're just for grandpas. I think they're for people who appreciate craftsmanship. Because when you really get into start collecting knives, you see the subtleties and the differences in them that you don't necessarily see when you first start out, right?
Yeah. Well, that's another thing. Don't shy away just because it doesn't have a lock.
Right.
Yeah, that's probably the main thing I hear is like, oh, it doesn't lock. So I'm worried about closing on my hand. I was like, well, why would it close on your hand to start with?
Yeah,
What are
if
you
you're coming
doing to
from the
cause it to
modern
close on your
knife
hand?
world, you hear
Yeah.
that from other guys. Oh, well, it doesn't
Yep.
lock. Yeah. It's okay. Just learn to use a knife.
Yeah.
And, the higher quality knives are going to have a really stiff
Yeah.
lockup. So while they're not locking, they're pretty close, especially when you get into something like an Ashley Wright.
Yeah. And then if you find one that that's kind
Did I
of
say Ashley Wright? Ashley Harrison.
yeah, you said
Trust me.
Ashley Wright. I was
But
like,
I meant Arthur Wright.
yeah, Arthur Wright.
My God, it's so hard to remember. Ashley Harrison, Arthur Wright.
That's what's I guess nice about some of them to have a half stop, just in case
Right.
you're learning. Half stop is kind of nice to have. Not
And maybe you're one of those
technically
guys
needed.
that wants to kind of dip your toe a little bit into
Yeah.
the modern world, but have a little bit of traditional too. That kind of Victorinox knife is kind of like the blend of that. It's sort of
Yeah.
like a modern traditional a little bit, right? You've got the liner lock. You can do it with one finger like a Spyderco,
Or if you have an older model.
but it's a brand that is
Yeah.
more traditional in style, right?
Yep.
But we were talking earlier before shows like, oh, how many American knife makers are still about? And it's kind of depressing that we don't have more American makers making traditional pocket knives. I think we've got GEC,
Yeah. Case.
got Case,
Baron Sons.
Baron Sons, and Buck.
Buck.
I couldn't come up with any more after that.
Well, remember, and I might be wrong on this, but I'm trying to remember if A.G. Russell used to be one, but I don't know
Right,
if they
AG.
put all their
Yeah, that's
knives are
one with
now
the
made
question
overseas
mark.
or not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
question mark one where we're not real sure whether or not they're
because they've had
100%
lines that
overseas.
were made overseas for years, but they also used to have some that were made here in the States.
Yeah. And with the exception of GC, all of those
Yeah.
fit in that category because Buck most will have knives made over in
Yeah.
China and here,
And
traditional
then
ones.
then you still got, was it the Daniel family? Some of their stuff is still made over here. I think most of their stuff is.
Yeah.
They're just,
Baron Son makes some of their knives out overseas.
yeah.
Just depends on what it is.
Yep.
But you still do have, some choices if you're all about buying all American made knives.
Yeah.
The GEC though, obviously, if you're getting into the hobby, it's not the place to start.
No, it used to be, but now just the secondhand market. Trying to get a one on a drop is difficult enough, and then when they hit the secondhand market, they just go through the roof in price.
Yeah. It's just that the price of entry is pretty high.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, let's see. Stacy did say Spyderco, but I'm trying to remember. Those aren't made here in the States, are they? Are they made here in the States?
There's a few.
Well, I know they do a few different non-locking ones, but I'm trying to remember which ones are made here, and if any are made in Golden, Colorado. Or
Yeah,
not.
I don't know, like if the slip joints or any of those are American made because I know they make a few of them for the UK market in particular, and
yeah,
they have quite a number of different places where Spyderco made. And for me, it not being super into the modern knives, I get kind of confused by that because I think there's probably 4 different places that they get made, right?
See, there's Taiwan, there's Japan,
Mm-hmm.
they got a China facility, and then they got Golden, Colorado.
Right.
Oh, and I
Yeah.
do know they do have some. I think I don't know if they still make them in Italy or not. They did do that for a little bit. I know.
Right. Okay. And did they completely discontinue their Robin brand, or is that just some of the knives? Because these are made in China. All right. So here's like a Robin too.
I think they're what they call the Bird series. I think is still going. I thought.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The bird knives. Bird knives. This is the Robin.
Yeah.
What did I say? Did I say bird or did I say robin?
You said robin.
I'm sorry. I had robin on the
I
mind.
mean, you were like technically right. I mean,
Yeah,
but just
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. The birds. I didn't know if
yeah.
maybe they got rid of them entirely, but
I don't think they have because
okay.
they're rather popular just because the price on them.
Yeah. So Scott says Italy too. So
Yeah,
there's quite a different number of places. But I just think for newer collectors that are getting into it, the options they're quite limited if you want to stay in the American realm.
yeah,
Case knives makes a butt ton of them knives, but the problem with that is if you really want to get a great variety of different patterns, you pretty much are forced to buy used knives because then you're getting a lot broader spectrum of availability there.
Also, you're getting better quality if you buy like some of the older stuff.
Right, because you're going to be limited to their production knives now if you're sticking to new ones.
Yeah,
and that kind of limits the scope for me in a way that, you get like a sow belly that I really like. You get a sodbuster I really like. Quite a number of copperheads that I really like. Some stockmans that I like. But then once you get beyond that, I'm not a trapper fan. They make a ton of trappers. So there's a bunch of them that are eliminated from at least my perspective. So, and then they've got the rust lock, which I'm not a massive fan of.
Yeah. Which
So,
I'm actually a fan of it myself. That was one of my early case knives I really liked.
Well, it was one I bought to try out, much like I was saying
Yeah.
about the right edge. I wanted to see if I'd
Yeah.
like it, and I just didn't.
Yeah. Let's see.
Cooper was the other one we were
Cooper,
kind of thinking.
yeah.
Yeah, that was one we brought up pre-show. So thank you, Byron, for bringing that up. But Cooper is another one.
Yeah.
And they've got, a number of brands that they're putting out.
And they're actually, let's see, I'm trying to remember. I don't remember some of their prices aren't as bad on the secondhand market as some of the GC stuff is.
Right. So it kind of gets you into a similar style knife without quite the expense. They're in like the 150 range, right? Is that about right? Somewhere in that
Some
area.
of them, yeah.
About 150, 180 maybe. Somewhere in there. So that's another option. Definitely more accessible than GC, and you don't have to pay that crazy eBay tax with a lot of those. Stacy says she really likes the Kershaw slips. I don't think a lot of those are made in the USA, but again, I'm not a Kershaw guy, so I could be wrong about that. Maybe some of their older ones, certainly the ones on the secondary market, I'm sure there are some American-made ones, but as far as their current production, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I think most of their current production is not made here in the States. I'm pretty sure it's not.
Yeah, but they definitely have some really cool older secondary knives to check out.
Was it the Culpeper? It's one of them.
Well, Culpeper was their slip joint, but that's Chinese made.
Well, I'm just saying it's not, if you're the American, you want American made. If you don't mind something Chinese made, that's an option.
Right. Yeah, well, we can talk about that's another thing we're going to talk about later. I was going to bring up is like American companies, but with Chinese manufacture.
Yeah,
because then that opens up the window to a lot more options. But if you're strictly and you're diehard only American made and stuff, then it kind of limits a little bit what you're going to get. Like a Buck, they don't make a ton of slip joints. They make maybe about 5-6 different ones now, something like that. Now they used to make a lot more.
Well, that's the thing about it though. Well, let's see. Oh, yeah. The new ones are US made again. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So the 301, that 303, those are going to be your American made ones. The 371, 373 are the Chinese ones.
But the American made Bucks aren't exactly the cheapest in the world.
Yeah, they just aren't, for me, a great value. Maybe you can buy one used, get a little better deal on those.
If they would have upgraded the steel, that would have been.
Yeah, they went to 428C. Now you can get some of the older Camillus made ones that are carbon.
Yeah.
Actually, Schrade or Camillus. both of those
And that should be
companies.
similar to 1095 or something along those lines.
Right. And we used to have Old Timer back in the day,
Yeah.
and that's all Chinese made now.
Dave said Chris Reeves, and he's technically correct. It was them Penda, the
Oh,
slip
okay.
joint they made, but that
Right.
was not. That's not a budget. That's not a cheap slip joint. That's
Yeah,
like a $400 or $500
that's
slip
not an
joint.
entry level
No,
knife.
no, that's advanced. That's
For a
advanced.
lot of people, for a lot of knife people in general, I would say Chris Reeve is probably almost a Grail knife.
For me, it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Must have been definitely a grill knife.
Yeah. By the way, Cooper Cupley drop it tomorrow. The TPK/C on Risner. On Risner.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Traditional
Yeah.
pocket knives Risner tomorrow. What is the knife? Can you tell us more about it, Byron?
Let me go look up.
Guess we can
Actually, I was
take a
going to
look.
see Risner.
All right. While you're doing that, let's kind of get in more to the China. If you're not opposed to Chinese knives and you want a quality traditional style knife, that might be your most affordable options. Now, if you're just wanting the best value overall, you're probably talking British knives now at this point. And that brand would be Arthur Wright and Sons. Or perhaps even Taylor Eyewitness. Right? Not to say that you can't get a really good deal on a case knife, but you're probably going to have to find one secondary market. Anymore, they're about average of about $80 for like a bone scaled one or something, a little more nice in the handle material. You can get some of the synthetics for cheaper than that, particularly the Sodbuster pattern. You can get for probably about $55. But they've all kind of gone up in the last 2-3 years, certainly since I've been in the game. So they're becoming a little more unaffordable, especially if you're overseas and you're having to pay, the shipping or the import VAT, whatever it is. So it makes it a little more difficult to get a good value on those. But for, I guess, the best bang for your buck, would you say there's something better than Arthur Wright and Sons right now? I don't know if there is.
I wouldn't say so. I mean, it's hard to beat.
It's tough to beat that.
Yeah.
There's a couple of American distributors out there. James & Co. over on All About Pocket Knives has them.
Just be prepared.
There's another shop that has them. I can't recall their name off the top of my head. A couple of other places. You can probably even find them on eBay, but you probably pay a little more.
And honestly, I mean, this is what I did when I think I ordered the Senator. I think it was directly to their website at the time, or somebody's website over there. Ordered it almost directly.
Right.
And it took a while, but
right. They do have a website, but it's a bit dated. Arthur Wright and Sons. And I don't remember the exact address, but if you Google it, it's not that hard to find.
Yeah.
But again, Chinese knives are going to be your best for the bang of the buck if you want just something that's going to give you that traditional knife feel without spending a ton of money. Yeah. But if you want the real thing, it's hard to go wrong with Arthur Wright and Sons. Now, you got the Jack Wolf to choose from. You've got the Rosecrafts to choose from. Here's a Jack Wolf to give you an idea.
That's still really nice.
It's a really nice knife. And this was $70.
Yeah.
Right. Barlow style.
Like, you know me, I don't even care for Jack Wolf knives, but that one, find a good deal in the secondhand market, I'd pick it up.
Right. Now, some of the people are going to say, "Oh, well, it's it's got a machined feel to it because it's basically flawless style design. Doesn't have the character of a handmade knife." Okay, I'm not going to get into that debate tonight, but If you want a traditional knife, I don't mean made, but traditional styled, then it's hard to beat for the price. Let's get an example of a Rosecraft. I'm just going to randomly pick one up here. Oh, here we go. So here's the Otter Creek Barlow and Stag.
Nice.
And you'll find that this is going to be made in a very, very similar way to the Jack Wolf. Pretty much fit and finish wise, pretty much the same.
I forgot to add another brand to the secondary market for like the GCs and the Coopers and whatnot.
What you got?
Shat and Morgan.
Right. Yeah, before Queen went out of business. What Queen went out of business? Early 2000s, something like that, right?
I don't even remember.
It wasn't a super long time ago, but they made Shat and Morgan, and they were fantastic.
Yep. Very nice. The fit and finish on them was really good. And I'm not so much sure about now, but it used to be kind of like one of the biggest kind of secrets, or how should I say it? Damn, I'm trying to think how to say that. Just underrated choices on secondhand market. I mean, that's a really nice knife for no more than what you pay for it. I mean, it's not cheap. It's still, they can still go for $200, but generally, at the time when I got this one, it was under $200. So probably 175 maybe, if that.
Yeah.
So that's Keystone series.
Dave says he loves the Shat and Morgans, but expensive in the UK. So I got that.
But their prices are creeping up, and I don't know what they are now because I haven't checked in a while. Have they gone expensive, Scott? They might have. So I guess I got in on that at the right time.
Yeah,
but it's still an option on second hand market.
But I think for new people coming in, there are still options, and there are still a lot of used knives, and the used knife market it's immense. So many brands, so many styles. You can, buy them from Solingen. You can buy them from Sheffield. You can buy them from New York made. And start to set your budget, like what do you want your most expensive knife to be, or what maybe you want to spend in a month's time or something like that.
Yeah.
Go from there. But a lot of fantastic Camillus made knives, like these Boy Scout knives that go for like $20. And Camillus is one of those brands that, is sort of a mainstream brand, but they're very well loved by their collectors. Certainly have a slew of people that collect Camillus knives, and maybe them just alone. But Camillus even made some of their early buck slip joint knives, as well as they OEM'd a ton of other knives, like the one Chris is holding in his hand.
Yeah, now Mike is probably going to be cussing me right now because it's one of those knives. It's like, hey, don't tell everybody about that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the Frontier series.
Yeah, the Frontier series. Yeah.
Go back and watch last episode.
Yep.
Frontier knives.
Well, no, it's episode 4.
Episode before.
When did we have Mike on? That was,
I don't know. Whatever episode it was that Mike was on.
It's a couple episodes back. Yeah, go watch. That's a really good option. Because I was impressed for no more you pay for this, and I'm like, man, that's actually really nice.
Nice.
All brass on this one. This is was it Double Eagle?
Yeah,
I think is what they called it. Yeah. Or the whatever.
Frontier Double Eagle.
Yeah. So these are really nice, and the other ones I guarantee are just as nice. I'll take John and Mike's word on that.
Yep.
Just stay away from the 4421s.
Oh, you getting people to go away from the one you want, huh?
Yeah.
Hmm.
You got like a mint condition one, and I'm like, I drool every time you show it, and I'm like, oh.
Mike got one too that next week that he was
Yes,
on
he
the show.
did. And then I'm sitting here just like, I feel left out. I'm gonna take my toys and I'm going home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a great brand.
Yeah.
I wish I could tell you the other one that I got, but it's a beautiful knife, American maker, that I would also include in this like frontier style kind of under the radar types. But unfortunately, until Matt has his package and has opened it up, I don't want to mention what it is.
Ah.
So he had a birthday back in June and 19th, June 19th. Yeah, it was Juneteenth. Yeah, the same day as we celebrate Juneteenth. And it hasn't reached him yet, so I gotta kind of wait. But we'll talk more about those in the future. We may even have a whole show on that brand too. That'd be something else Mike can get into because it's not something he has.
Yeah.
What else do we want to talk about? When you want to show some, do you have any other knives like the Stockman you want to show? Something like that, older American thing kind of thing?
Oh, let's see. I don't think. Oh, well, I got it's not old, but it's one of my favorite Stockmans of a brand we talked about. It's the K75.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Now
I got,
that's
yeah.
when they were still stamping the blades, boys and girls.
What is it? Oh, yeah, it is actually. No, wait a minute. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. This is
Oh,
kind
it's
of
not.
recent one. No.
Oh no.
But it looks, I mean, this one looks decent, I guess.
Oh no.
Yeah. But this one I can say is more recent 75, of course, but I got lucky on this one because the fit and finish is really good.
Did you did something to that to weather it, right, or
Yeah, I
something?
did. Yeah.
What did you
I
do to
just,
it?
I knocked all that down. Basically did a artificial pocket worn finish on it.
So, could you say that you made it your own?
Yeah, pretty much.
So you don't really have a problem like taking something and then making it your own, do you?
No, I never do. It don't matter what it is.
Doesn't matter what it is. You
No,
just kind of
like
like
my
to make it.
Sabenza,
Yeah.
I was kind of tinkering with action on that, playing with that, and I made a little mistake on one of the washers, and guess what? It's got to go back to Chris Reeves at some point.
Right. So if I
Um,
did that to one of my, you know, knife related objects, you wouldn't be upset, would you?
no. Oh, that. That was yours. Yeah.
All right. Now, see, I knew you were going to damn show that thing.
I'm just showing the crowd what it's supposed to look like before you take a 220 grip
Got
Dremel wheel
such.
to it.
Every time I look at this, I'm like, oh, you didn't keep it original. I get ribbed on just because I took a little bit of the sheen off.
You took all the sheen off and then some of the dye too.
Can't make things my own. Not allowed. Not allowed to do it.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing about it, though. That looks good.
Oh.
That looked like it was done either naturally or by a professional.
Dave says you've unpolished. Yeah. Crazy. I'm a nuts. I don't know.
Which I actually took this
experiment.
I actually modified the side buster some too. I rounded it off a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, but it looks good.
Yes. So, like with my Rosecraft, a recent purchase. This is well, I actually have both of these, so we'll show them both. I had a Rosecraft. And I think a lot of what I don't know. I guess it's just how I interpret it. When I get offended when people say, "Oh, there's no soul to these knives," that's not really true.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, there's a lot of things that give a knife soul. It could be something you used a long time. Maybe it was something
And
your grandpa
and
used a long time.
let's just be honest. Where that feeling's really coming from is our own bias and perception.
That's true.
That's all that
But
feeling's coming.
one of
That's
the
the only place
things
that's
that
coming from.
makes, for me anyway, makes a knife start to kind of have that soul is when you really caress it with some sandpaper. When you have like a machine made style knife, right? That's kind of got those sharp edges from its being stamped metal,
Yeah.
right? And just roll those edges. And I
Yeah.
might have spent, I don't know, 5 minutes on it the first time and it was considerably better. But I
Yeah.
bet now I've spent maybe an hour on this, just
Well,
rolling it, rolling it, rolling
yeah.
it.
Pretty much all my slip joints, my Swiss Army knives, even some of my moderns,
Mm-hmm.
I'll go in there and I'll, like the liners, anything like that, I'll go in there sandpaper and just smooth them off. I mean, it's like that right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's a GC Bunny knife. That's not a cheap knife.
Yeah.
And I've literally worked the whole thing, outside, inside, you name it. I mean, it's
Yeah. But this knife, the way it feels in hand now compared to how it did, is just a
yes.
world of difference for me. I'll rub my hand across there, like across the liners. You see how I'm doing my index
Yep.
finger?
Yep.
You don't feel any of that edginess. And I know when I pick this knife up that it's mine, because if I had
Yeah.
anybody else's, it wouldn't feel like that.
Also, that's another thing too. You can see how much I worked on this one because there used to be a number right there on that bolster. Number's
Right.
gone. Like it wasn't shallow either. But I've just, go in there and I'll make sure all the edges are smooth. The transitions between the covers and the bolsters, that's something that'll kind of annoy me.
Yeah.
I'm weird like that, I guess.
Well,
Some
you
people
just
don't notice it,
got your
but
own
I
little
do. Yeah.
idiosyncrasies that you like. There's another one I did it with, right? Same knife, just different
Yep.
handle, right? And it just it feels
Oh
like
yeah.
home now. It feels like home.
I also do my own sharpening choils too. When they're not like I want them. Like that's not stock.
Right.
So
Yeah,
yep.
it's got a nice little smile on it.
Yep. I think I did the bunny knife too, as a matter of fact.
These have a pretty nice
Yeah.
choil right from the start. Didn't have to do anything to this.
Yeah. Did the bunny knife too.
Point is, you'd make it your own. Don't let
Yeah, and then
anybody tell you what you want.
that's part of the fun with it too. And I guess one of the big charms for me would, slip joints. It don't matter if it's a Swiss Army knife, a regular, traditional slip joint, whatever it is, or modern manufactured slip joint. Most of the time, they're not super expensive like some of the moderns can be,
Yeah.
and you're not afraid to make it your own, you know, and you actually use it because you look
Right.
at some of the guys out there with moderns and they look brand new because they haven't used them.
They don't want to do anything to alter them either. Ground
Yeah,
fog, welcome. How you doing,
howdy,
bud?
howdy.
But yeah, it's a fun it's a fun thing to kind of be able to just, I don't know, put your own little spin on things, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I guess that's probably my favorite parts, just kind of doing my own thing to them, making them mine. Um,
The ability to kind of fiddle with them and
yeah,
just, and I know a lot of guys, they dye theirs. They didn't quite like the color. They want to alter it a little bit. They'll dye them. They'll do all these little small tweaks to them. I know guys that don't like a spade blade. They alter the spine of them, make them more of a sheep's foot blade or drop point blade.
yeah.
Those There's just a lot of people that like to alter them just very slightly to make them theirs. And I think that's a cool idea to do it. Let me just pop up this chat real quick here. If you'll just begging my pardon. There we go. Now I can read that as it comes in.
Nice.
Oh, messed that up. Oh, well. Did I mess it up? No, it's right there. Yeah. But I don't know. Whatever questions you guys have for us. Again, we're kind of my thing for today is like, how do you feel about older generations being kind of the main one to buy traditional knives? Is that going to affect the market in say 15 years? Going to be fewer people buying them? Are they going to kind of fade away? Is it always going to have? Are they always going to have somebody manufacturing these things long term? You know, we have fewer and fewer options, obviously, with the American companies kind of going.
Yeah. Well, with the manufacturing side of things, I mean, personally, I think that as long as the market's there, they're going to make them.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to make them. The market, the actual core market, is the only thing that I wonder about. I do think as time goes on, as some people get older, and this is kind of, I mean, I started with a slip joint, but then I went to moderns for a long time. And now that I got a little bit older, I got back into the slip joints.
Yeah.
And I think that probably happens more often than not. So I don't think the market's going to shrink really that much. It's probably going to just stay kind of like it has been more than anything.
Yeah, and I think there's so many modern knife manufacturers that potentially, not saying it will happen, but potentially they may consider, you know, the traditional knife world because that's such a crowded market. You've got a little more room to work with on the other side of things, right?
Oh yeah,
and if it's healthy enough and there's enough companies making a profit on them, then you know there's going to be more people come over and try their hand with it. Recent example would be Jack Wolf, right? They decided to kind of do that $70 price point like Rosecraft was doing.
And that's
and from everything I've heard from like Andy, he's like welcomes it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about it. It's cool. You know, competition in any market is always good for us,
right?
And it'll make quality better.
Options and you know the number of knives, quantity of knives to choose from.
Definitely.
I was going to ask or answer Byron's question. He says, "What are their best favorite mods you've done to a blade sheath?" I wouldn't say I have any one particular favorite mod, but one of the things that I always find joy in is when I pick up like a used knife and say like, I'll give you an example. The liner lock's not working because it's been bent or something like that. And they're usually a pretty easy fix, something like that. And the reason why I kind of like it is usually it's devalued because the liner lock's not working or something like that.
Yeah.
Like on this particular one. Yeah, it's still a little bit of maintenance to the liner lock tab. And get it back into position. You might use like some needle nose pliers or something flat and flatten it out, straighten it out, stuff like that. And then all of a sudden you've got it back where it needs to be and it works again. Things like that. Things where I've taken something that wasn't working and now made it, you know, basically like it was intended. Again, that's kind of cool. That's one of my favorite options. Another thing is taking white handled bone and dyeing them a different color. Give you just a totally different look on that knife that you wouldn't necessarily have thought of to do. I haven't done like major mods. I got to hand it to people like Slippy and things like that he's done where he's rehandled knives, repinned knives.
Yeah.
He's taken Victorinox, you know, like Spartans and things and made them into knives that are actually pinned, you know, put brass pins all the way through and things like that. So there's a lot you can do. I haven't really taken things that far. I've just done a lot of, you know, fixing up like repairs and things like that, where I take a knife that's not really working the way it's intended and kind of getting it back into reasonable form. Things that are really rusty and getting them to actually open and close again with some snap, things like that. That's pretty. When you have a knife that's like, when you open it and you open it, you don't know if it's ever really going to have any snap left in it. And then you work it and you lubricated it and you've got the rust off of it and you get that snap back. That's pretty gratifying.
Yeah. I think with me, the one I do most often is really just I literally kind of lay the angle back more to my liking.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, on more the traditionals with using the steels they do, I don't go as extreme as I do on other ones, like some of the moderns I have.
Yeah.
But that's my main one. Um, I showed you like the Sharpman trolls. I do those. Kind of deburring the entire, recontouring or just contouring the handles a little bit more. Deburn the liners.
Yeah.
If I can get in there and kind of modify the action and make it a little bit better to my liking, I'll do it
All right.
on certain knives. Some you can, some you can't.
All right. We're about that point to do a roll call here. I just want to recognize everybody that's been in the room tonight. Scott the Blades. Thank you, Scott, for coming in. Dave from Midnight Crisis. Stacy Bolster Blades. Thank you, Stacy. I got that packet, Stacy, of stickers. So I wanted you to know that I will be handing those out as I send things out randomly. So everybody will get hold of one of those. Sent one to Chris already, I believe. And then we have Make Cutlery Great Again. Mike, how you doing? We have, what else do we have comment tonight? Byron. We had Byron. Thank you again, Byron, for the question earlier. And then we have, I know we saw somebody new in here earlier. There we go. Yeah, Ground Fog. So hello to Ground Fog. Thank you for coming in tonight. So yeah, what do you got there?
What? That was the 75.
That was 75.
With a spade blade that I modified the edge. That's kind of what I do.
Another thing, Byron, also is like when you can kind of fix up a blade. Maybe the tip's broken off or something like that. And you grind it back and kind of get it to be presentable again. I know this one, like this is an example of a blade that wasn't great when I got it. It's still not perfect, but looks a lot better than it did when I got it. Sharpen that one up. And that one's perfect. A perfect box cutter. That's exactly the way I need it. Poke through and lift. But I don't know. I always tell the newcomers, experiment. Get an experimental knife. Don't be prepared to just lock in on one knife and like expect to love it. Like find out whether you're gonna like carrying it. Get some cheaper version of maybe what you like, and then graduate to something better when you feel comfortable with it. There's no sense investing a lot in right from the get go. Just doesn't make a lot of sense.
And that's another thing too to think about. Okay, so you carry that's all you carry is a modern folder. Well, grab a Swiss Army knife or some other cheap slip joint, put that in your pocket too. Still carry modern, but try carrying a.
And there's nothing wrong with carrying both at the same time either.
Yeah, and it's kind of like with me. I was carrying my Sabenza and my bunny knife together for a long time because generally when it comes to moderns, I like the larger knives. Like this one.
Well, that gives you a
that's a big knife. That's a Manix 2XL from Spyderco.
I would agree. I mean, like, I'm more offended by a larger traditional than I am a larger modern knife.
Yeah. But if you're going to be around people, I mean, not many people are going to say a whole lot if you pull out this or that.
Right.
But if I pull out this, they're going to be like, whoa. Or if I pull out something like, especially this, that would get people's attention. Like, what's he doing?
Yeah, he looks like a killer. That eyebrow blade combination is not a good one.
And the beard.
There's the modder that I carry much of the time
Chavez.
with the traditional knives.
Yeah.
It's just for me kind of the perfect size. Don't really get in your way. It's not going to be obnoxiously large. And yeah, quick and easy to get to if I need that sort of thing where I'm working one-handed. Need to free up a hand to get it out of my pocket. So, you know, I usually like that beautiful feel of a slip. I haven't talked about this tonight, but like, here's the ideal situation when I'm carrying a traditional knife. You got it in a slip. You pull it out of your pocket. You know, you caress the leather. You pull it out nice and slow and enjoy the feel of the handle. Right? Then you put the slip back in your pocket. At least I do. Then you open it with two hands, nice and slow. I feel like I'm on some AMSR right now. But anyway, you get what I'm getting at. It's more than just having the knife. It's about the experience of using it too.
Hey, John, right? that took way too long.
It did.
You know what you do? You just take your knife, you put in your pocket, and then when you need it.
But see, that's the whole point of having this. If I want something fast.
No.
Right. This is is the Saturday night girlfriend date. Right. This is the one where she's home for lunch. Right. You get me?
No.
Home for lunch. Nooner. You know what a nooner is?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the Saturday night date. Date night.
That takes too long.
You don't like slips?
You've had this conversation. I'm just, like the one.
You don't like slips?
They're nice and all right, but they take too long.
You don't like slips. What are you going to do with your patty knife when you get it?
Put it in the slip.
And then not use the knife? What are you going to do?
That's the thing about it. I would generally have more than one knife, so I'd probably go for the one that I can get out faster. No. And it wouldn't be that one. That adds another step.
Yeah, it does. That's all
and
part
sometimes, of it. And don't get me wrong, sometimes that's fine, and sometimes I don't mind that. It's like, hey, that's kind of. I mean, I understand what you're saying.
All right. As long as you get me, you don't have to.
I get you, but it's just like most of the time when I really need a knife, it's like I don't have time for that.
All right.
Now, if I'm like, cutting a pizza box open to get my pizza out, then, I ain't got time for that.
Oh, you mean like a frozen?
Yeah.
I was thinking, I don't know why, but I just pictured you like cutting through one that was just delivered. And I'm like, what the fuck is he, doing? Sorry, beep. But yeah, I don't know.
My animal side comes out when it happens.
Just like ravage through. Oh, I gotta eat. Bro.
Yep.
All right. Damn, boy, you hungry?
Hey, don't get in front of between a big man and his steak or pizza or whatever he's eating.
Yeah. What if one just likes knives?
Which one? What?
That's what.
Well, just buy knives in and use knives. Have fun. Like I said, I got moderns. I got fixed blades. I mean, I'm kind of like that. I like knives.
Byron, what you got? You've got moderns and traditionals, right? Are you not a modern guy? I don't remember. I'd have to go check out Byron's channel tomorrow and re-explore what he's got on the table. I will tell you this. Byron's got one of the best sticker collections I've ever seen.
Don't tell Tony.
Better than Tony's.
Well, I mean, that don't surprise me.
Better than Tony's. Because his has got channels. And those are the type of stickers that I most cherish.
Yeah.
When somebody's got a sticker from their channel. Or if just somebody that I know and it's a channel based on their avatar or something like that.
Yeah.
Because there is that.
Not good at collecting stickers, though.
Well, we sure helped him out. I mean, when he got done with Blade Show. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he had to have help.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he is getting old and feeble though, so I guess that's to be
Oh, I
expected.
see what you're saying. So Byron says, I like my Saturday night date and a nooner the same day.
That's my kind of. That's what I'm talking about.
Start calling Byron the blue pill man. Red Kitley event in September. All right. We'll check that out. Is that going to be a case event or a buck event, or is it just their event? Just probably their event, huh? Okay. So we'll have to see. We need to do more homework for the show, Chris. This is why we run into problems. People come in here and they announce things for us rather than we announce it for them. How does that work? If our audience knows more about what's going on in the knife world, we do.
Because we kind of stayed ourselves in our own little
Now,
corner.
you know what the problem is? We're too damn spend too much time in Discord. That's our problem.
Not a problem. That's not what I call
it's
a
not
problem.
really a problem. It's fun. That's what that is.
Yeah, that's everybody else's loss if they don't want to come over and have fun.
Yeah. But, like on the S&T show, we used to do news and things like that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll get there. Get there. Bourbon and Blade.
Scott said
Bourbon and Blades event. I'm pretty sure that is the one that Case shows up, or excuse me, Buck is a Buck. I think it's Buck shows up to that one. I can't remember. Yeah, I know. No one can know all what's going on anymore. Isn't that the one with Buck though, Stacey? I'm pretty sure that's the one where Buck has a special knife. Yeah. Yes.
Oh yeah.
There we go. Splitting Slices got your info here. The RHC Red Hill Cutlery Buck sponsored Bourbon and Blades event. Saturday, September 6th, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Then a country concert afterwards. Okay.
Where's
what else comes up in September that I must mention because our good friend Dave is in the room. And there may be some UK listeners out there that are going to watch us.
Oh, yeah.
We have Sharp Show.
Yeah.
Now that's in Coventry, if you're not familiar. And that's sometime in September. The tickets are already available. Maybe you've already sold out. I really don't even know. But make sure you're checking out Sharp Show information over in the UK because that is.
And if anybody is wondering what that is like, now I've never been to it, but I've seen pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, anybody, especially here in the South, maybe in the Midwest, have been to a gun and knife show. It's kind of like that, but it's just knives, no guns.
Bourbon and Blades is in Radcliffe, Kentucky, near Fort Knox.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trying to think how long that would take me to get there. It'd take me a little bit. Not too long, though. I'm in North Carolina.
You want a conspiracy question?
The fact there's no gold in Fort Knox.
How did you know I was going to ask that?
You said conspiracy, and somebody just mentioned Fort Knox. So what do you think I'm gonna say?
You need no gold, huh? No gold there.
I don't know. Never been in there.
Well, what's your guess?
I don't know.
All right.
I don't take chances when it comes to government.
Yeah. All gone or not? I don't think that. I think there might be something to it.
Might not be as much in there as they say there is.
Mm-hmm.
But unless they're keeping something else in there they're not telling us about.
Yeah. Anyway, knives are not for grandpas only. Young people, get into it.
Yeah.
Try knives. Carry a knife. You'll
watch
find
MacGyver. Get us
you
a
use it
knife.
all the time. Right.
Yeah.
And don't let that crappy remake of MacGyver spoil you from the old real good MacGyver.
No.
Go back and watch
original MacGyver.
The real
Richard Dean Anderson. Richard Dean Anderson.
Yes. Okay. Or Fort Knox. Why do I keep saying Fort Worth?
Because you're in Texas.
Yes, I know. So yeah, there you
go.
No, I don't think it's there, guys. All right. No. What's goals? Is that guys and gals? Is like a combination of one word, goals?
What?
Yeah. I think it's girls and guys combined. Goals. Or it might be
Or
just
maybe,
the word ghouls. That's what she
or
means.
maybe she meant gold.
Oh, the gold. That probably makes more sense. No, I don't think there's
Have you taken
gold.
your meds tonight?
No, I haven't actually. I need to take it before I go get.
That explains it.
Cheers. What's the
Yeah,
topic
good.
next week? We don't have one. We barely had one this week.
Yeah, we'll be a little more prepared next week.
Next week we're having a guest.
Yeah,
We're having Dave on.
if he's still down for it.
Dave is going to commit next week. Our first UK guest, Dave. Midnight Crisis.
He's got some nice blades too.
He's got
really
some nice stuff. He's got some really cool stuff to show. So make sure you don't miss that.
Yeah.
But we appreciate everybody coming in. I wish I'd gotten more comments. I know there was more people in here than commented. But that's all right. That's some great interactive comments with the audience tonight, and I do appreciate it. Number one on the top fan list tonight was Stacy. She won. And she's blaming her phone for the misspelling earlier. So
yeah, it's not. Our smartphones aren't very smart, are they?
No, they're dumb.
Yeah,
they're very dumb. But then again, I couldn't figure out what she said, so I'm dumb too.
We already knew that though.
Scott had this little jokey comment.
Huh. They ain't protecting a whole lot.
Yeah. They replaced the gold with case vault knives.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. That's going to do it for this week. Appreciate you guys coming. Thank you to Stacy, membered up again. Now for 11 months. Look at her. Nubs. Love the nubs. And next week, we're going to have a more enjoyable show. So if you didn't like this week, come back.
Yeah.
We'll have
next week will be high energy,
organized and sincere effort. Yeah. And we'll have Dave on. And Dave, you know what one is Dave, the number one thing he can do? Talk.
Yes.
He can gab. So we'll look forward to some gab. All right. We'll see you then. Take care, guys. Appreciate you coming.
Guys.
Bye.
Are we still live? Can anybody hear me? Yeah, I wonder.
Okay. Well, I thought I'd play a trick on Chris. So hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you next week.